Hi everybody, Riskmonger here. Welcome back to Astrology Baseball on MLB The Show 24. 12 signs of the zodiac, 12 teams, one for each sign, all battling against each other in a playoff-style simulation. Right now we've got the last of 4 wildcard rounds to determine the final Division Series contender in the Positive League. This one is between the Gemini Twins and the Leo Lions. Remember, since this format is based on the real-life MLB playoffs, we have 4 rounds. The Wild Card round is best of 3, the Division Series is best of 5, and the Championship and World Series are both best of 7. The number 1 starter for Leo, we have Yoshinobu Yamamoto. He signed a contract with the Dodgers last offseason, coming over from Japan, the largest contract for a pitcher in history, in fact. The number 3 batter for Gemini, Bobby Witt Jr., with 2 outs. He strokes a base hit into left field, and he's going to turn this one into a hustle double. Bobby Witt Jr., unquestionably the best hitter in the Gemini lineup. I actually had the chance to draft him with the number 2 overall pick in my fantasy league last year, but foolishly I chose Julio Rodriguez instead. But, I mean, can you blame me for not wanting to build my team around a Gemini? Next batter, Royce Lewis, a great hitter if he can manage to stay healthy. And he's plenty healthy here, blasting a home run away out and gone into left field. It's an early 2-run lead for Gemini, who take advantage of pretty much the only 2 above-average hitters in the lineup. This is a sign whose offense has struggled immensely in the last several Fantasy Astrology Baseball League seasons, to the point where it's sometimes hard for them to field a full lineup with qualified eligible players. But thankfully their pitching staff has been superb. And here's the latest example of that pitching excellence, Paul Skeens, who not only won the NL Rookie of the Year award in 2024, but he started the All-Star game in July after just 11 Major League starts on his resume. But Skeens in the second facing Seiya Suzuki, and Suzuki hits a high drive to left. That one is way out of here, and the Cubs outfielder cuts into Gemini's lead. It's now 2-1. Suzuki and Ian Happ, real-life teammates on the Cubs, put up nice numbers for Leo, but if Mike Trout and Luis Robert Jr. could have stayed healthy all year, they might not have both garnered starting spots. Next inning, though, Gemini trying to get that run back. 2 runners on for Royce Lewis again, but Yamamoto gets the Twins' third baseman swinging, no damage done, and it's still a 1-run game. In the 4th, Skeens would settle down, getting first baseman Michael Toglia looking on strike 3. That's 100 miles per hour dotted at the top of the zone. This guy Paul Skeens should have a bright future ahead of him and is the perfect building block for the Pirates to crawl out of their rebuild. Next inning, first baseman Dominic Smith at the plate with Jake Myers on second base, and Smith grounds one through the left side. The speedy Myers will score easily, and the score is now 3-1. While Dominic Smith had some time in the majors this year, he would probably be left on the waiver wire in most fantasy leagues, which just goes to show how weak Gemini's offense has been in recent cycles. Bottom of the 5th, Skeens trying for a shutdown inning, and he gets Ian Happ to whiff at that slider way off the plate for out number 2. But more importantly, we finally get a cool slow-mo replay of Skeens doing his thing. In the 6th, Gemini trying to add on. They've got 2 runners on for Jake Myers against long reliever Brady Singer. And Myers goes down. Couldn't get his bat around on the changeup. It's still a 2-run game. The 8th inning now, Paul Skeens is still out there and still dealing. He's got Ian Happ looking. That's 10 strikeouts on the night for the rookie Paul Skeens. Gemini would add a couple more insurance runs in the 9th, off Leo reliever Chris Bubich, courtesy of Dominic Smith and Nick Gonzalez. That would prompt a pitching change. Jorge Alcala pitching to Bobby Witt Jr. And the Gemini star goes deep. It's a 2-run shot. The Twins are up 7-1 now. That's the Gemini Twins, not the Minnesota Twins. And that would be enough to put Leo away in Game 1. But not before I show you one more play. Here's Craig Kimbrell in the bottom of the 9th, pitching to the incomparable Mike Trout. And the former consensus best player in the game launches a solo home run to get one more run across for Leo. Trout, as you see, wearing number 34 instead of his customary 27. That's because I used the Giants to stand in for Leo. on account of their orange color scheme, among other things. And 27 has been retired by the San Francisco franchise in honor of pitcher Juan Marichal, who is a Libra, by the way. But anyway, Gemini hangs on to win and take a 1-0 series lead against the, I was going to say, heavily favored Leo Lions, but they're not that heavily favored. I mean, these two signs really struggled in terms of real-life 2024 fantasy performance, each finishing in the bottom quarter of the league. But Gemini hangs on here thanks to a great performance by Paul Skeens to give themselves a 1-0 advantage in this wildcard round. Game 2 now, coming to you from Dead End Road. It's unfortunate that none of these were day games, because we don't get to see the striking red rock canyon walls that surround the stadium I picked for Leo's home park. Gemini has a chance for both the sweep and the upset here, with Jake Fraley set to lead off against his real-life Reds teammate Hunter Green, the top fantasy point-scoring Leo pitcher in 2024. He'll bring his 100-plus mile-per-hour gas to the mound to try and keep Leo's season alive in Game 2. And Green shows off the gas to end the first, striking out Gemini's star hitter Bobby Witt Jr., a good start for the Leo ace. Opposite Green on the mound for Gemini is Zach Wheeler, also the top Gemini scoring pitcher. But of course, the game sets the lineups based on player rating rather than real-life performance, which is why Skeens got the nod in Game 1. First batter for Leo, it's Arizona outfielder Jake McCarthy. He goes down swinging to start the inning. Speaking of player rating versus real-life stats, Corbin Carroll outscored every other batter in the Leo player pool, even though he definitely fell off from his Rookie of the Year winning 2023, but he was still left out of this Leo starting lineup. In the third inning, here's McCarthy again, and he takes the pitch from Wheeler deep. It's carrying towards the right field wall, and it's gone! Who needs Corbin Carroll anyway? That line drive shot gives Leo a 1-run lead. There's still a lot of baseball to be played, but Leo is not going down without a fight. Next inning though, Gem leadoff batter Jake Fraley reaches on a little ground ball. It gets through the right side of the infield and is ruled an error, the first base runner for Gemini. Then with one out, here's Bobby Witt Jr. He hits a line drive into the right center field gap. It's going to go all the way to the wall. Fraley on first, not the speediest runner, but he will come all the way around to score. And it's a good thing he did, because there was nowhere else for him to go on the triple by Bobby Witt Jr., and Gemini has tied the game. And the very next batter, it's third baseman Royce Lewis. He grounds one up the middle for a base hit to give Gemini the lead now. Again, it's the two best batters in that Gemini lineup that are coming up clutch in these big situations, and Gemini has handed the lead to one of the top pitchers in the game, Zach Wheeler, who keeps it going in the fourth, striking out Ezequiel Tovar as part of a shutdown inning. In the fifth, though, here's Leo second baseman Matt McLain. And there's a deep drive to straightaway center field. That one is long gone, and this game is tied once again. Here's another example of the game using player ratings rather than real-life 2024 stats, as McLain, of course, missed the entire 2024 season due to an injury. But if he can come back next year and display the breakout form of 2023, that would be a huge boon to this sign in 2025 and beyond. Next inning, it's Leo first baseman Michael Tolia. He gets a hold of one, drives it deep to right center field. Jake Myers and Harrison Bader on the run. It's over their heads for another solo home run. Michael Tolia could be Leo's first baseman of the future, and it might be too early to say this, but Tolia has the chance to be the best Colorado Rockies Leo first baseman since Hall of Famer Todd Helton. In the seventh, though, Gemini has loaded the bases against reliever Justin Martinez, and Jake Myers lays down a beautiful bunt. Matt McLain has no choice but to go to first base, and Myers has tied the game with a sacrifice bunt. I guess that was some kind of squeeze play? I don't know how to classify that. An unalive squeeze? Can't say suicide anymore. You'll get yourself on a watch list. But either way, that's going to be it for the Diamondbacks' part-time closer. It's now going to be Chris Bubich, who pitched last night. He's going to face Dominic Smith, who got an RBI off Bubich last night. And Smith does it again, dumping that pitch into right field. One run will score, it's a play at the plate, and another run will score. Gemini now up by 2 in the late innings. The lefty batter comes through against the lefty pitcher, and Gemini in a good position now. And they're not done yet. Here's Pirates second baseman Nick Gonzalez shooting one into right center field. Trout picks it up before it gets to the wall. He's got a strong arm, but the relay throw not in time as Dom Smith slides in there safely. Looked very close on that play. But Gemini gets the call, and they'll leave the 7th inning with a 3-run lead. To the 9th, new Leo reliever is Luke Weaver, who took over as the Yankees' closer in the playoffs. He's going to strike out Dominic Smith to end the inning, and it's going to be the 5, 6, 7 hitters representing the Lions' last chance to keep their season going. They will hit against Felix Bautista, the closer, another player here who missed the entire 2024 season. He was recovering from Tommy John surgery. And Bautista starts off the inning with a strikeout of Ezequiel Tovar. He and Tolia forming a nice Leo core on the Colorado Rockies, along with second baseman Brendan Rodgers. Next batter, Seiya Suzuki. He goes down on that nasty splitter, and there's 2 outs now. Ian Happ, the last chance for Leo. And it's a ground ball to the left side. Lewis scoops it up with a backhand pick. Strong throw across the diamond, just in time to get Happ, and Gemini are moving on to the next round. An unexpected outcome, given that the Twins scored the fewest fantasy points among all 12 signs in 2024. But as I've said, real-life 2024 stats don't matter here in MLB The Show land. Gemini really able to showcase their strong pitching in this short series, and their offense has just enough to scrape out a couple of close ones, defeating Leo in the Positive League Wildcard Series. And with that, we have our final 8 teams locked in, and we are ready for the Division Series round in Fantasy Astrology Baseball 2024. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.